继续收看佛学英文这一堂课。You are most welcome to come back to the Buddhist English class. We will read a few sentences first, and then we will explain. Repeat after me. Basically, life is unsatisfactory because 1. It is not perfect. 2. We only get 2 weeks of vacation every year. 3. Our joys are impermanent. 4. No one gets out alive. 5. Our body has to be washed over and over again. 6. The freeway is crowded. 7. We must be taught by pain as well as by pleasures. 8. Our name sounds dumb. 9. We must argue that life is not unsatisfactory. 10. Most of our happiness depends on mere thoughts of the past and the future. Mindfulness is the cure for the disease of suffering. Mindfulness keeps within reach of everyone. Take delight in mindfulness. Control your mind. Pull yourself out of the mire of patience. As wood and elephant sunk in mire, come out of it. Nothing is gained without effort. To train your mind, you have to work every minute, every day, every year, from one life to another. Be kind and mindful. Let no one ever come to you without going away better and happier. Mercy is the highest attitude. Repeat. Basically, life is unsatisfactory because 1. It is not perfect. 2. We only get 2 weeks of vacation every year. 3. Our joys are impermanent. 4. No one gets out alive. 5. Our body has to be washed over and over again. 6. The freeway is crowded. 7. We must be taught by pain as well as by pleasure. 8. Our name sounds dumb. 9. We must argue that life is not unsatisfactory. 10. Most of our happiness depends on mere thoughts of the past and the future. Mindfulness is the cure for the disease of suffering. Mindfulness keeps within reach of everyone. Take delight in mindfulness. Control your mind. Pull yourself out of the mire of patience. As wood and elephant sunk in mud, come out of it. Nothing is gained without effort. To train yourself, to train your mind, you have to work every minute, every day, every year, from one life to another. Be kind and merciful. Let no one ever come to you without going away better and happier. Mercy is the highest attitude. In our last class, we have compared our mind to a garden. We can plant trees in the garden. We can plant grass in the garden. We can grow thorny weeds in the garden. We can grow beautiful, tender flowers in the garden. And even a little weed can learn to grow beautiful, tender flowers. The mind is within our reach. The mind is the garden. We can plant whatever we want. We can have anything in our mind. We can have happiness or suffering in our mind. It depends on our confidence, depends on our thinking, depends on our determination to make the mind become what we want it to become. To reach enlightenment is within our reach. Everybody can become a Buddha because everybody has the Buddha nature. This is a very unique and unusual teaching by the Buddha. The Buddha taught us that there is no born Buddha. An enlightened one becomes enlightened just because of continuous practice. It is not the result of the generosity of someone else, but it is the achievement of one's effort. We must understand the law of cause and effect, the law of Dharma, the law of nature. Whatever we do, whatever we will cultivate, there is no shortcut, there is no secret, there is no mystery. Basically, life is unsatisfactory. Basically means in principle, fundamentally. Basically, life is unsatisfactory. Basically, life is full of suffering. Unsatisfactory means unhappy. It is not to what we want. It is against our wish, against our hope. Basically, life is unsatisfactory. There are thousands and thousands of reasons why life is unsatisfactory. We feel unsatisfactory not only because of our passion, our desire, our hatred, our delusion, but also because of the influence from outside. Of course, the influence from outside will harm us, will hurt us, will influence us just because we are ignorant, just because we are under the influence of our passions, just because we have hatred, we have craving, we have delusion, we have arrogance, we have suspicions, just because our character is not sound, is not good enough, just because we are not wise enough to see through the reality of our life. There are so many reasons that life is basically unsatisfactory. We cannot mention them one by one. We just mention 10 reasons why we are not satisfactory, why our life is full of suffering. The first reason is it is not perfect. Life is not perfect. Life is not perfect because sometimes we don't have enough money to spend, because we are living in a troubled world, because we have air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, mental pollution, and every kind of pollution in modern days. The life is not perfect because we are not born in a perfect heaven. We are born in a defective world. Of course, we fear not perfect. It's just because we have not perfect mind. If our mind is perfect, pure, and wholesome, then our life can become perfect, wholesome, and good enough, because our mind can determine everything. The second reason why our life is not satisfactory is we only get 2 weeks of vacation every year. Most people always complain that we don't have enough vacation for us to take rest. We always complain that we can have only 2 weeks of vacation every year. Why we cannot have a longer vacation? Why we cannot have vacation all year round? We complain about this and that. And we have so many plans to spend our vacation at home and abroad. And yet, we are only allowed 2 weeks of vacation every year. We complain so much. But remember, in ancient time, the farmers work 364 days a year. They only took rest on the New Year day. And yet, the ancient farmers were so happy. But today, we are allowed 2 weeks of vacation every year. We are not satisfied with these 2 weeks of vacation because we have too much craving, because we have too much hope, because we have too much desire that we want to have longer vacation. We complain that we have only 2 weeks of vacation each year, that we cannot do what we want to do, that we cannot travel to any place we hope to go. Even we are given 2 months of vacation, we still feel unsatisfactory because we are full of desire, because our mind is not peaceful, because our mind is always irrigating, that we cannot have a peaceful mind. The third reason why our life is unsatisfactory is our joys are impermanent. Of course, if we have pain, we will feel terrible. Sometimes we may have joy. Sometimes we may have pleasure. Sometimes we may have enjoyment in our life. But we always complain that our joys are too short, that our joys are impermanent, that our joys are always in a position to leave us. We cannot have the joys all the time. We complain that our joys are impermanent. Our joys are leaving us from time to time. We cannot hold the joys forever. That is the reason we feel our life is unsatisfactory. The fourth reason that our life is unsatisfactory is no one gets out of life. No one gets out of the life alive. That means no one can live without living. We must depend on our living. We must depend on our daily activities. We must depend on the foods to sustain us. Depends on rest to refresh ourselves, refreshing ourselves. That is the problem. No one gets out of alive. The fifth reason why our life is unsatisfactory is our bodies have to be washed over and over again. Our bodies are easy to get dirt. We have to clean our bodies over and over again. In particular, in a polluted city, in a polluted area, our bodies become dirty very easily. And we must make the trouble to wash our body over and over again. It is a routine work that we must wash our body over and over again. If we don't have enough patience, then we will complain why we have to wash our physical body every day over and over again. That has become a burden to us. We must waste water. We must waste time. We must use the soap to clean our bodies. We will feel unsatisfactory about bathing. The sixth reason why we feel the life is unsatisfactory is the freeway is crowded. Modern people usually drive cars. When they drive cars on the freeway, they always complain that the freeway is crowded, that they cannot drive the car freely. Most people want to drive car. That is the reason why the freeway is crowded. If most of the people living in a certain place can make use of their bicycle or can walk on their foot, then the freeway will not become crowded. Just because everybody wants to drive a car, the freeway becomes crowded. We don't understand the reason why the freeway is crowded, and yet we complain that the freeway is crowded. We just complain that other people don't walk, don't drive their bicycle, don't ride their bicycle. They just complain that other people are not good enough as them. The freeway is crowded. Therefore, we fear that our life is unsatisfactory. The seventh reason we mention here that our life is unsatisfactory is we must be taught by pain as well as by pleasure. We must be taught by other people. We must learn the lessons, the teachings from our life. Of course, we have pleasure in our life. On the other hand, we have more pains than pleasure in our life. We learn the lessons from pleasure as well as from pain. We cannot avoid the pain in our life in order to learn lessons. Especially, pain can teach us more lessons than pleasure. From our experience, we understand that we learn more from pain than from pleasure. The eighth reason why we fear that our life is unsatisfactory is our name sounds dumb. Our name sounds not so attractive, not so nice, not so good to hear. Our name seems not perfect enough, not to our satisfaction. That is the reason we fear that our life is unsatisfactory. The ninth reason is we must argue that life is not unsatisfactory. In fact, the life is basically unsatisfactory. But we must persuade ourselves. We must cheat ourselves. We must tell ourselves. We must argue with ourselves that life is not unsatisfactory. How regrettable we are. How pitiable we are. Although we understand that life is full of sufferings, yet we have to argue from time to time that our life is not unsatisfactory, that we can have a happy life, that we want to enjoy during our lifetime, that we don't want to waste our lifetime in order to have the best, the greatest satisfactions. The last reason mentioned here is most of our happiness depends on mere thoughts of the past and the future. We have happiness in our daily life. However, most of our happiness depends on the mere thoughts of the past and the future. When we recollect our past life experience, sometimes we will feel happy when we have dream in the future, when we have hope in the future. If we expect to see some good friends or relatives, we will feel happy. Most of our happiness depends on the mere thoughts of the past and the future. We don't rest on the present time. We don't live right here and right now. And yet, the present time is the only thing that we can hold, that we can have. But we neglect it. We don't pay attention to what we can get hold of. We are always daydreaming. We are always regretting over our past. We are always recollecting our past experience. We are always daydreaming about the future. And we depend our happiness on the mere thoughts of our past and our future. And yet, the past has gone, and the future hasn't come. The past and the future are not solid enough for us to hold on. We can have our mind rest on our present time in order to have a real happiness, because time is changing from minute to minute, from sound to sound. We can get hold of the present time only. That is the reason we feel unsatisfactory about our life, because we depend our most of happiness on the mere thoughts of the past and the future. Mindfulness is the cure for the disease of suffering. Suffering is just like a sickness and a disease. How to cure the disease or sickness of suffering? The only way is to develop mindfulness, is to develop wisdom. Mindfulness is the cure for the disease of suffering. Mindfulness can make us clear about what is happening right here and right now. And then we can see through the reality. We can penetrate into the ultimate truths of our life. And evidently, mindfulness is the cure for the disease of suffering. If we want to get rid of suffering, we must take the medicine of mindfulness. Buddha Dharma is just like a medicine which can cure our sickness. Buddha is just like a medical doctor. Buddha is a medical doctor to treat our sickness. Buddha prescribed the medicine for us to cure our disease. And the medicine is the Buddha Dharma. The medicine is the way to lead us out of suffering. If we get sick of suffering, we must take the medicine of suffering, of mindfulness, Mindfully keep within reach of everyone. Please keep mindfulness within reach of everyone. We must have mindfulness 24 hours a day. We must reach mindfulness in an easy way, in a very convenient way. No matter whether we are standing, sitting, walking, or sleeping. No matter whether we are eating, drinking, or talking, we must develop mindfulness. We must keep mindfulness within reach of ourselves. And of course, mindfulness can be within the reach of everyone. If one can practice mindfulness from time to time, then he can be mindful all day long. That he can reach the mindfulness quite easily. Actually, it is hard, and yet it is not so hard. It is difficult, and yet it is not difficult. It just depends on the confidence, the determination, the effort we may have. If we have strong confidence, strong trust, and enough effort, we can develop mindfulness quite easily. Take delight in mindfulness. Control your mind. Pull yourself out of the mire of patience, as would an elephant sunk in mud, come out of it. Mindfulness is the cure of the disease of suffering. Therefore, we must take delight in mindfulness. Mindfulness is good to us. Therefore, we must take delight in it. Don't run away from mindfulness. Don't be afraid of mindfulness. Don't think that mindfulness is a hard job, a suffering, and uneasy, uncomfortable thing. But take delight in mindfulness. Control your mind through the practice of Buddha Dharma. If you practice Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, then you can control your mind quite easily. You just abide by certain rules and the principles set down by the Buddha. You just observe the precept. Then you can control your mind. And if you continue to practice meditation every day, then you can bring your mind under control. Control your mind. Don't let your mind run away. Don't let your mind wander away just like a monkey. But control your mind through the practice of meditation. You are always in the mile of patience. Patience means the desire, the craving for something. You are always caught in the mire of patience. That is the reason why you suffer. Then you must develop the confidence to pull yourself out of the mire of patience. Just like an elephant sunk in mud, come out of it. If an elephant sunk in mud, it will try its best to come out of the mud, because the mud will catch the elephant or even kill the elephant. The elephant will try its best to come out of the mire. It is the same case. If you are caught in the mire of patience, if you are caught in the mire of emotions, you will feel unhappy. You will feel entrapped. You will not feel free. In this case, you have to try yourself to pull yourself come out of the mire of patience. If you can pull yourselves out of the mire of patience, you will feel liberated and free and happy and peaceful. The mire of patience will catch you, will hold you, will make you unhappy. Nothing is gained without effort. To train your mind, you have to work every minute, every day, every year, from one life to another. As it is said by an economist, that there is no free lunch. We cannot enjoy the lunch without any pay. We have to pay money to buy lunch. We have to pay money to buy the food we need to sustain ourselves. Nothing is gained without effort. You cannot just sit there waiting for the falling of the apple, the falling of the fruit. You must put effort in cultivating, in planting, and in taking care of the fruit trees in order to enjoy the sweet fruits. Nothing is gained without effort. No pain, no gain. No effort, no effect. It is the law of nature. It is the law of cause and effect. Nothing is gained without effort. How can you gain something without putting any effort? You must put effort on what you are doing if you want to gain any achievement. To train your mind, you have to work every minute, every hour, every day, every year, from life to life. The practice of Dharma is the practice of many lives. We cannot reach enlightenment within one lifetime. We must practice from one life to another life. And we must continue to practice Buddha Dharma every minute, every hour, every week, every month, every year, from life to life. Reaching enlightenment is the result of continuous practice. If we cannot continue to practice, there will be no gain. There will be no enlightenment which we may achieve. We must understand that practice is a long journey. We cannot waste our lifetime in gossip, in drinking, in eating, or in useless activities, speech, and thinking. To train your mind, you have to work every minute, every day, every year, from one life to another. Your mind is just like a monkey which jumps here and there. Your mind is just like a big river which flows from the mountain through the plains and into the big ocean. The water flows all the time. You cannot stop the water. You cannot stop the monkey to jump here and there. Your mind is always agitated. Your mind is not peaceful. Your mind is not quiet. It is the way your mind has been from such a long time, from your childhood and even from your previous life, that your mind cannot rest on the present time, that your mind is not peaceful. Therefore, to train your mind, you have to work every minute, every hour, every day, every year, from life to life, until you reach enlightenment. You will fear suffering in life until you become a Buddha. You will be reincarnated in the samsara until you develop full wisdom. You cannot penetrate into the realities of life. Therefore, your mind is not happy enough. Your mind is changing from time to time. Your mind is unhappy. You have to work very hard. You have to continue the practice of Dharma from moment to moment. Otherwise, because your mind is conditioned to wander away, because your mind is conditioned not to be aware, it is the cause and effect that your mind will wander away quite easily. You have to practice very hard, continue to practice meditation and mindfulness from moment to moment. Be kind and merciful Let no one ever come to you without going away better and happier. Be kind towards yourself and other people. Treat yourself kindly. Treat other people kindly. Treat yourself mercifully. Treat other people mercifully. Have compassion towards yourself and other people. Be kind and merciful enough. Let no one ever come to you without going away better and happier. As a bodhisattva and as a practitioner of Buddha Dharma, you must make a vow to lead the different beings out of suffering. You must make a great vow to guide the different beings out of the mire of suffering. You must try yourself to help other people become better and happier. Whoever comes to see you, whoever comes to meet you, you must make them happy. You must make them happier. You must make them better when they leave you. This is the great vow of a bodhisattva. The practice of paramitas is the practice of a bodhisattva. And a bodhisattva has great compassion, has great love towards other people, has great determination to make himself happy and to make other people happy. Be kind, merciful, and compassionate to yourself and other people. Try to be happy by yourself first. Only when you have a peaceful mind and happy mind, then you can make other people feel the same. If you are not happy, you are in no way to make other people happy. You must be kind to yourself. Try to practice mindfulness and meditation from time to time, from moment to moment, in order to remain in a peaceful and a balanced state of mind. Let no one ever come to you without going away better and happier. It is a great vow of a bodhisattva. And of course, it is the hope of a bodhisattva to have everybody have a beautiful life and a happy life. Nobody can be happy without the guidance of an enlightened teacher. Nobody can be happy without the kindness and the mercy of other people. Nobody likes to be unhappy, and nobody likes to be caught in the mire of suffering. It is just like you. It is just like an elephant. It is just like the wish of everybody. We don't want to have unhappy life. And therefore, we extend this determination to other people and treat other people nicely. Don't let anyone who comes to you goes away without happiness, without joy. Try your effort to help other people, to enlighten other people, to guide other people in the right way. This is the greatest love. This is the greatest compassion a bodhisattva may have. Mercy is the highest attitude. Mercy is the highest virtue, is the greatest virtue, is the best thing we may have towards the humankind. Mercy towards ourselves and mercy towards other people are the best policy in our life. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
妈妈，这是我送你的。
好，啊是阿明上了解我的心啦。
妈妈，咱紧放来听看卖咧。
法界唱出无上人生，化破放下，用大美类的姿心，生生世世菩萨行，帮助咱脱离苦海，花着心莲到涅槃，早日证菩提，背经正义当，好心感动天。法界之歌台语专辑，心莲服务专线07-222-5612。 道思想，端正社会良心，是法界永远的责任。不求个人名声，不为现世利益。邀请十方法师以经教化，为众生解脱烦恼，如理如法，不为佛意，必无挂碍，实现人间净土，就在法界客厅大道场。